Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. Good morning. Thanks for being here early on the last day. So we have a session where we are going to go through a kind of fun way to look at the new world of going from idea to development to production.
It hasn't gotten easier.
It hasn't gotten easier.
Has it?
Well, we made a video that we're going to start with, right?
Yeah.
So,
I feel like it's important to capture.
Wait, is your mic on?
Is it on? Oh, let me do it. Let me turn it on. I'm just naturally loud and brazen. Let me see. Here we go. Wait for it.
There we go.
Marco.
Yay. First
Thank
problem
you.
figured out. Polo.
All right. We're going to try again. Ready?
Okay.
I'm going to press the button.
Which one?
The button.
The play button?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's watch the video.
I'm scared.
We made a video to just bring you back to the past. What was life like back in 2001?
And why was life like?
And why was life like?
How do I make this? There we go. Cinema verite.
We're almost ready. I feel good about this deploy.
Me too. It's been years in the making. I can't wait to get this out there.
I just joined last year. I've never even seen us deploy anything. What is it going to be like? I'm terrified.
Oh, the sound.
And how do I help?
Oh, it's easy. We just take this thing and throw it over the wall and make the operations team make it work.
That's cool. Who are they?
I have no idea. I mean, I've never even met them. But I was told that they're going to be on the Worm call later. Is that true? You guys know better than I do.
Yeah. I mean, the way that we fly on the wings of better software angels, I certainly won't be there.
Okay, can we run through the code and make sure everything's up to snuff? I still don't quite understand how this all works. I've only been here for a year after all.
Yeah, it's simple. So what happens is, let's say on add to cart. So add to cart calls the action servlet, and that calls validate in the add to cart action form.
Right.
And then that calls perform in the add to cart action.
Okay.
And then that calls the cart delegate add product, and then that calls the cart session EJB add product, which calls new, creates a new VO, value object, and then that forwards to a JSP, just like 6 layers.
Oh, okay. So that's actually fairly straightforward. That sounds like a very modern
It's
architecture.
based on a lot of design patterns.
Right.
That's right, there was
Good.
this thing called the Gang of 4, you heard of them?
Right, yeah. Right, good solid C++ code. Is there, so you've got an EJB in there.
Yep, session
And
beans.
you've got JSPs. Why do you have SQL queries in the JSPs as well?
Well, that's just the easiest way to do things. Just put the queries right in the JSPs.
Right.
Just two-tiered.
Right.
It's two-tiered, man.
It's like quasi 6-tier, 2-tier.
That's right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. This is not what they.
Sounds better over there.
This is struts, right?
It's struts, yep, yeah, and we used EJB doclet so that we could generate those EJBs because no one really wants to write EJBs from scratch.
How much did that cost in consultant money?
The consultant was going to be like $200,000 just to change our Java docs.
Right? Makes sense. Yeah. That sounds legit.
Yeah, but just don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, what's wrong with being a consultant?
No.
Good thing it isn't a bubble right now.
Yeah.
He's good.
Right. Yeah. No, I completely understand. I can't wait to quit this job and try my hand in consulting next year.
All right, you all, you ready? Let's get this thing deployed. Come on.
Ready?
Come on.
Boys?
Yep, everyone's on the call.
How many people?
There's like 200, I think. 50 in the war room are waiting to get that thing deployed.
All right, let's get this going. Anyone have the final production year archive available?
Oh,
Yeah, I've got it on the USB. It was a little heavy. It weighed in more than a gig, so I didn't want to bring it with me, but I've got it. I'm ready.
That's a big USB, man.
Right?
We're deploying.
All right.
Is it done yet?
No, it's not. Although I couldn't tell you why.
Well, Jane's updating the database instance, but it doesn't support SQL 99, so we need to try something simpler.
What? Why didn't someone try this out in the staging environment?
I did, okay? Fellas, I did. But for some reason, that nobody told me, there is a completely different database in staging than there is in production. They're using MySQL in staging, and it works on MySQL.
But we're not using MySQL in production.
Well, how am I supposed to know?
There it is.
It's done.
Yeah. Oh man, good job everyone. This thing was so easy.
Features amazing. Can't believe how easy things can be.
Oh, I love it.
It's a party, man.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Woo. Good time.
So has it gotten easier?
Wow. Well, we're going to find out today.
Yeah, like-
right now.
This is the thing. I remember that being not so bad, actually. Like, there weren't a lot of moving parts.
Yep.
They just sucked. Like it was workable if you knew how to, drink. It's like there was enough. You could walk through the pain.
Now there weren't
there's
that
so
many choices either, right?
Right, yeah. You were just, there's a golf game someone played, and that's your technology stack, right? Like, over the golf game. Vendor golf-driven development,
Golf-driven development.
Yeah, like,
Does anybody resonate with that? Is that anybody's life long ago?
yeah.
Okay.
Somebody way above your pay grade making decisions about tech that has no business doing that. Imagine. Politics in software? No, that doesn't happen. So it's gotten, is it better?
We're going to find out.
Okay.
This is what the session is all about, is can it be better? I mean, we have spent like a week preparing to try to show that it's better.
And the hard
run
part-
into all sorts of hard things along the way.
So I think it's gotten, there are more moving parts now, right?
Its complexity has increased.
Yeah.
Certainly.
But I would say because of the choices have increased, right? It's a paradox of choice where there's so many choices that you don't know which ones to make.
Right.
So what we want to do today is basically simplify it down to you can make these simple choices and everything will go smoothly all the way from coming up with an idea all the way to deploying it in production.
And to be fair, we all work for 3 different companies with 3 different sets of technologies. And I can't even imagine getting 3 different vendors to play well together 20 years ago, 18 years ago, right?
Yep.
And now I think it's not so bad, right? It's possible.
We're going to see.
Okay. So the first bit was, we need to get something to production, but when do you get to production?
We have to have an idea.
Right?
What are we going to build?
Literally anything at this point would be impressive.
I heard that a reservation system is like
I can do
the
that.
hot thing.
Right, yeah. That's the thing I do. So
You've built one of those before, huh?
once or twice. Now the goal is to build some software, and that part I think is not going to be so bad because, it's spring. It'll be fine.
Let's see.
The difference between then and now is we didn't have spring. So, that's one of the things that's newer than that video, but not by much.
We did have xDoclet though.
Yeah. So, by the way, how could you hear that in the back?
The video? Okay, they heard it.
Okay, it sounded completely muffled up here, which is awkward.
It's on YouTube, so if you
Yeah.
didn't catch it, just search for, I don't know,
It sounds fine if you listen to it in your
Search
laptop.
for-
I'm not sure if it sounded fine to you, but we had.
James, Matt, and Josh
Yeah.
deploy WebSphere on YouTube.
Oh dear, where's that? Actually, is there a link? YouTube, Starbucks, man. I should put that video there. I'm gonna update our slides, okay, Jess?
There it is.
Okay. And there's the updated slides. If you want to take a photo, I did that for you, so you can.
Nice that you can just update those right live.
Yeah,
Do
no,
live.
I mean, ish.
Ish.
It's okay.
Okay, so we got an idea. Let's build an app.
So Spring is new. It's not much newer, but it's newer, right? Like it's 2002 is when we first started seeing the open source code. 2004 is when you first had a company, and even then it was newer. And of course now, as you all probably have no doubt already experienced, it has gotten simpler, dramatically simpler, even in the time it's been around, right? So Spring has become a very different story indeed. So with that, you had a very complicated domain model. You had a very complicated model, right? You saw that insane marble diagram, that's a real thing. Does anybody have software that looks like that in their legacy hearts of hearts? Yeah.
Delegate, facade,
Yeah.
all those things.
Repositories, controllers,
Yeah.
action forms, tag libs, right? And I remember learning about what was then called J2EE, and it's not called that today. Now I don't even know what it's called, nobody uses it, but at the time, J2EE had, when you learned about it, Sun Microsystems were talking about the 7 deployer roles. Does anybody remember this? They envisioned that for every single application, there'd be 7 human beings involved to deploy this thing into production. 7 different careers, 7 different lives.
There was one that took the USB and moved it from the release team to the, I don't know, machine server operators, right?
Right, and then there's like configuration, JNDI and all this stuff, like all this stuff you had to do to configure your artifact, your blessed artifact that you had thrown over the wall. All that has to be configured and then be deployed. And so, now, here we are. We don't have 7 roles. I remember Ruby on Rails came out. Anybody here remember Ruby on Rails? Ruby on Rails came out, and they were like, well, here's 5 minutes, we'll do something and go to production. And I always thought maybe that's a little too short.
Right.
It's fine.
Maybe not enough guardrails on that one.
It wasn't even in production, but they got software working. So to be able to go from like working idea to software in 5 minutes, that was already pretty impressive. So here, we're going to build some software, I guess. That's the first thing. And today, we're production-minded, we're production-oriented. And so, of course, I go to start.spring.io, and I want to build software that's intended for production.
But what was that URL again?
Start.spring.io. And that's the other thing. We didn't have nice URLs back then, No.io as far as I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they existed, I just didn't use them.
Right.
Therefore, they didn't exist. So we're going to build new software, and again, what kind of database should we be using?
Well, we're going to do some fancy stuff.
Oracle?
We're going to use Mongo.
Okay.
Yep, because we can get reactive, and I heard that was cool.
Yeah.
And so, we'll add some Mongo into that.
Okay.
And then we should do Kotlin,
Okay.
right?
That's another thing that's different from 18 years ago is...
Did we get all this working with Kotlin?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kotlin is a nice thing. How many of you have used Kotlin? Good stuff, hot sauce. You don't have to, but it's a nice language.
Anybody in production? All right. I mean, with Kotlin, sorry. Of course, you all are in production. It's the happiest place on the planet.
Qualifier.
Okay, a couple people in production with Kotlin.
Service. And let me clean up my desktop, my downloads directory. Okay. CD, downloads. Got nothing, good. So we need that. We need a web application. We're going to build a reactive web application. Service, reactive web. Anything else we need?
Back in the day, you didn't have really the ability to do single sign-on, right? Back in 2001, even SAML didn't come out till 2005, and SAML was kind of good for web browsers, but wasn't great for like devices and TVs and all the things we have now. So we could use OAuth or OIDC to do that, so we can add Okta.
Okay. So why would we do that?
Well, because most enterprises don't really want to have like users stored in each app, right? And they don't want to deal with password hashing and stuff. But what they really want is a throat to choke. They want someone to blame when someone like attacks and takes all their users, right? So you can just blame Okta.
So, it turns out I'm really bad at building user authentication systems.
Like friends don't let friends write authentication, right? I'm your friend.
Right.
Right?
No, that's a fair point. Yeah. This is not a message of hope. You're just not going to do a good job. Nothing personal. You're just terrible at this. So are we. All of us. Nobody should be doing security by yourselves. So let's let somebody else do that. Which is, I'm fine with that. But again, what was the point of that? Security?
Security.
And it's 2001. I have 10 users. Why do I care?
I don't know if you saw on Monday, on Monday they talked about, going to production and making it secure.
Yeah.
When they said secure, they did the hand waving, right? You never saw them actually do anything that added security.
And then magic
wand. Secure.
Yeah.
Right. So we're actually going to make it secure. We're going to do it.
Okay. You've convinced me on this whole security thing. So what checkbox do I use?
Just Okta.
Okay, I can do that. Okay. Anything else I need?
I think we're good.
I think we might.
No,
just
we don't
in case. Do we need? Let me add a Spring Cloud thing just in case.
No.
Nothing?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Or comment it out just so I have the bomb in case we think of something awesome.
Okay.
Here we go.
He's going off script. Who
Yeah,
knows how this is going to go?
Script. That assumes we have a script. Okay, here we go. So we didn't have, one thing we did have back in 2002 was IntelliJ. Now, IntelliJ at the time, when I was using it then on Windows.
I was using Eclipse back then.
I used it as well, but I found IntelliJ, and they had floating panels that were translucent on Windows. And so I could move these panels around, and as they moved around, you could see what was underneath them in the UI. So in that respect, IntelliJ has gotten worse. Like, that was legit impressive. Remember, it's built in Java, and I could see through it 18 years ago, you know? Now there's no panels that float, nothing's translucent. The magic trick is all gone, you know? Okay, so we have a service, pom.xml. Gonna comment out the gateway stuff, because I don't really need it, but I might want it later, who knows?
And you should actually comment out Okta as well, because if you haven't configured Okta, then it will fail on startup. It's just how OIDC works. It goes and talks to an issuer and gets all the metadata it needs to configure SSO. And so you have to sign up for that. We'll do that later.
That one.
Yep, that's later.
Okay, got this. So now,
Part 2.
I want to build an application that talks to a database. I've got MongoDB here. MongoDB is very different from the thing that, because back in 2001, you had one kind of database. Heck, for most of us, we had one database. Like, that was it, Oracle.
Right. Yep.
You know, and then there were the occasional few that didn't have Oracle. And then there were the dirty secret then as now is that it's not, you know, Oracle's not it's not the majority employed database, right? It's not the most used database in production. That wasn't true then, it isn't true now. You know what is the most widely used database in production today?
Oracle.
Excel. Yeah.
Back then it was Access.
Yeah, well,
Right?
no, we've gone backwards, yeah. So back then it was Access talking to an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, through ODBC. So things have gotten a little bit better. At least we have a lot of choices.
That's right.
Even though Excel is still the #1 most widely deployed database in the world. So now we've got MongoDB. I'm going to build a thing that'll map to the database. So it'll be a data class, and we're going to call this we're going to give it an entity, right? So again, back then I would have used something like Apache OJB. Do you remember OJB or JDO? Anybody here remember OJB or JDO?
Yep.
There's got like
people?
4.
5 people? What?
Not very.
Not many, yeah. Well, good. Cheers. Pour one out for OJB. Not EJB. Nobody said that. We're going to give it a nullable primary key.
A var? Come on.
Yeah, it's nullable.
Can't we be immutable here?
Well, I'm going to default it to null because the database is going to provide that for us, right?
Oh, right.
So, and then a val name.
You know,
There you go, buddy. Don't worry, I got
there
you.
we go.
I got you, fam. Look.
Yeah.
Val. The other thing is, we thought about doing this in Scala. Sorry?
They're excited about that. See, they wanted Scala.
that could have been
I
big.
wanted Scala.
Yeah.
They wanted Scala.
But then we knew we wouldn't have enough time to compile
Yeah,
it and
it's-
get the whole talk in. So.
We've just got 1 hour. 1 hour. So that wouldn't work.
Now you need to generate your getters and setters, right?
No, so actually, yeah, that's a good point. I don't need xDoclet here. I don't need EJB doclet. I don't need xDoclet. Did anybody here remember what EJB doclet was?
Yeah.
It used to be, and it's gotten a far sight better, granted, even today for EJBs, but back then, you'd use Java doc style comments and then run them through a preprocessor, and that would in turn be fed through a code generator, which would, poop out 7 other classes for you. So for one EJB, you'd have all these other interfaces, all these different things that you need to create in order for that thing to be workable in production.
Kind of sounds like protobufs.
Yeah. Ow. Too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, and then you had also the code generation of things like getters and setters and constructors and all that. So today, rather than doing all that, I have a POJO, a plain old, or POCO, plain old Kotlin object, right? And I want to tell the language, hey, give me a constructor that takes 2 parameters. Because these prefixes, val and var, are here, it's going to create storage for those things. And because I haven't made these things private. If I had done private, then these would be just fields. But actually, because var is mutable, it'll create a setter and a getter for that. And because val is immutable, it'll create a getter. So it's a class with a constructor that has storage for these 2 parameters. and it has ways to access those parameters from the thing, which is great for JSON, which we also didn't have back then, right? So much better. We get more for less. One line of code, no compiler.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
I love
better.
this because I think the getters and setters really impair my ability to read code. I'm
Right.
sorry. It's just,
Yeah, it's noise.
Yeah.
So
Noise.
we're going to create a repository. So okay. One of those things from the marble diagram, still a good idea. A repository, right? Something to manage the data management lifecycle. So we're going to create a reservation repository. It's going to be using the reactive stuff, which is, again, reactive we only care about now because we have the possibility of having more users. In 2001, we had 10 users, so it was a different problem. We didn't care if each request blocked a thread for a minute because we had 10 threads.
Yep.
Not 11, but we had 10, right? So
Well,
it's
and now
fine.
we get to make the bottleneck for blocking be the database's problem instead of the application developer's problem, right?
Right. Push it down the line.
That's right. Push down
I'm
the line.
all about that. Okay, so reservation is the entity. The key type is of type string. Now that's just the interface. 2001, that would have been the very beginning of the path. I would have had to write the actual repository. Now we can actually just have that built for you dynamically by the runtime. So we want to save data into the database, and we're going to use some configuration to create an object that gets initialized and that writes things to the database. Again, this is Spring, and if we had moved to like 2003, we would have been using Spring with XML. We don't have that now, right? We do. If you really want your XML, you can, but why? So there's that. So we're going to create a bean, and now, of course, we're using Kotlin, so we could use Java config, we could use XML, we could do all sorts of different things. I like this Kotlin DSL, so I'm going to say class or val beans equals, or let's say context equals beans. Okay, and each bean I'm going to create is defined here with a bean method. Okay, and I want to register a bean that's going to listen for an event, in this case, the application ready event. Okay, application ready event. And now I've got a lambda, and in that lambda, I want to dereference the reservation repository. So I'm going to look up a reference to that in the configuration here. So I'll say repository equals ref reservation repository. Okay, there's this. And I'm going to write some data to the database. So I'm going to say flux.just, you're Matt.
We should make a reservation for next year, right? SpringOne, 2020.
Absolutely. And there we are. So we're going to create some names here. Names. For each name, map it to a reservation, like so. Null for that, right, for the ID. And then name, actually we can just do name equals it. So it is an implicit variable that is equal to the parameter that's passed in there if we don't otherwise specify one. So if I had done this, then I can't use it. But since I didn't, I can just use it. Okay? And then with that, I'm going to save each record to the database. So I'm going to say repository.
Hey, monads. Woo!
Oh. All right, I'm out.
I had to say it in the top.
That's it.
I had to get the
gotta
M
go.
word out.
Look at the time. I got to go. So there's that. So I'm going to now visit each one of those records and save it to the database, which is fine. This is a cold stream, so we'll say subscribe. There's that. Now, of course, I want to delete everything first, so I'll say repository dot delete all. Okay. Then many names. Then many. Okay. Find all, right? So repository dot find all. And then I want to subscribe to the results as they come out and just log everything out, like so with a lambda. So print line, it, good. Whoops, line. There you go. So that's our initializer.
Nice.
Okay. What else do we need? Oh, we need to register that context with the runtime. So we're going to say add initializer. Now, because I'm using the functional, I'm using the reactive data initialization, I'm using the programmatic bean registration mechanism here, right? And so what happens when you do this is that you end up getting a lot of curly brackets. So with Kotlin and Spring, you'll find that we have successfully managed to bring back the joys of braces counting and matching from Lisp to applications today. So that's nice. That's a plus. Notice that look at the IDE, the tools have gotten smart enough to say, okay, yeah, this is the end of that. Just like matching and closing HTML tags, whatever, or JSP tags. This is where we are in 2019. The future is terrible, just terrible. Okay, so that's this. Now what else do I need? I've got data in the database.
I'll do an endpoint, right?
You want to create a SOAP service?
SOAP would be great.
Or an XML? You want to create a Corba?
Yeah.
I don't have my OR broker running right now, but I could get one
Some
going.
EDI.
EDI.
Yep.
Like, what should we do now? What kind of you want to do? You want to write the SOAP? Here, go ahead.
The SOAP service?
Yeah.
Nah.
Document. We can do RPC literal.
Be a lot of Googling.
SOAP. Yeah. Way too much Googling. We can create an RMI service. Do you want to do that? What do you want to do?
I don't really
Let's
want
do
to do.
JSON.
JSON?
I think that, yeah. I mean, it's boring.
You mean HTTP?
Yeah.
Just regular HTTP?
Right?
Okay, well.
All right.
So this is before 1.1? No, 1.1 is 97, right? So this is like after 1.1,
Right.
but not 2.0.
We just don't have the tools to expose our REST APIs, right?
But now we do. So let's build another bean here. Lexo. And it's going to be a router. Okay, and here we're going to say reservations. And we're going to return a response. In order to do this, I need to get a pointer to the reservation repository. And so as before, I'll just copy pasta. Okay, there's that. And pass in the repository. Dot find all. And there we go. So that's my response.
All right, let's see it work.
Well, that might be a bridge too far, sir. Okay. And localhost reservations, good. That's fine.
Whoa.
There we are.
That just all worked?
Yeah,
First try?
well, I mean, so we have to make
Come on.
this in honor of where we've come from, and in honor of where we're going. We need 8-bit ASCII artwork.
Of course.
So I want to make sure that we have that fine touch before we go further, okay? So here we've got an application. It's working just fine. Obviously, we have amazing ASCII artwork. That's always nice.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't do it.
Oh, it's 2.2?
2.2. Oh, too sad. Whatever, we can still do that. We can do artwork.
You
Just
can
not-
change it. We figured out a workaround last night
Oh, you'll have to tell me
while we
later.
were deploying.
So, which one should we do? When did Nyan come out? That was 2004, right? This is a little post-dated reference, but we'll make it work.
Can we do WinApp? Let's throw WinApp in there.
It really kicks the llamas. Okay. Curl, source, main, resources, banner.txt. Okay. And go. Come on. I kicked the compiler. It's like asleep. There we go.
Nice.
Much better. Now, of course, that worked, right? Obviously, that worked. I knew that was going to work. It was a demo, right? Of course. I love this part. This is the thing this is why I woke up. I'm done after this. I get off stage, basically. So I'm happy. But I want to focus on a few things that matter about this, right? First of all, meow.
Meow.
And my second favorite part. So awesome. That's one of my favorite features in all of Springdom. And so just while I have a moment, just ever so briefly, I just want to talk about what I consider to be a glaring and serious deficiency in the JetBrains product. Because while I'm a fan, and I miss the translucent windows, I think this particular thing was particularly short-sighted. Do you see this checkbox right here? Do you see this? Right here, this one right here. That checkbox.
It just started going downhill, giving you the ability to do that, right?
That's stupid. That's a dumb checkbox. Nobody ever asked for that checkbox. I don't even know why it's there, so I did what all people would have done in the same situation. I went on the internet, and I cried. I went on Twitter, which is long after 2001, but I got a message of hope from my friend Jan Sebron. He's a developer advocate at JetBrains. He's not here this year. Otherwise, we would have words. And he sent me this message of hope. He's a friend of mine. He said, Josh, don't worry. We're going to fix it. He sent me this message. He said, don't worry, Josh. Just relax, Josh. It's going to be fine, Josh. Every release that comes out, he says, just relax. okay? It's going to be okay. Don't worry, the next one will have the fix. It's going to be okay. And you know what? We've been friends for a long time. You guys know him, right? He's a nice guy. And I want to believe him. I want to trust him when he says this. And every time he says, just relax, don't worry, it's going to be okay. But you know what? I'm starting to think that just maybe, he's not exactly on the level. Whatever. Anyway, don't click that button. So now what?
Now I think we get to do something that we
running.
really don't do before.
Oh, yeah, we
check
tested
it
it,
in, right?
So,
Okay. So it's running locally.
what did he say?
We
Great.
gotta like check it in.
Yeah, we got to check
Like,
it in.
we're not just checking in the class files, right? We're
I can
actually
get my
source code.
RCS, CVS repository going. Should I use that?
Source safe.
What?
Visual source safe, isn't that?
Visual source. Or what's the IBM one? ClearCase and ClearQuest. I worked at an organization years ago that they were forced. There was a golf game that was played. Okay, so they had ClearCase and ClearQuest. And ClearCase is the source management, and ClearQuest was the bug tracker. And the situation was so untenable that they used at the time SharePoint as a spreadsheet to manage all the issues. And then somebody had the job of every week syncing all that into ClearQuest, right? So they managed everything through the spreadsheet, but because somebody forced them to do this with ClearQuest, that had to get checked in. I'm saying it's not great.
And then we have the story we heard, when we were planning for this in August, about the company that was able to send class files in email, and they could change class files in production.
They found a workaround for the deployment windows, but they needed to do fixes outside of the deployment windows. And so they would email class files and then ask somebody to go update the class files in the production system. And that was our workaround for doing fixes outside of deploy windows.
Yeah.
And yeah, that I'm sure went really well every time.
In production, like some sort of PHP application or something, you know, like somebody would just log in with Dreamweaver and make changes to the PHP code in production. We were doing that with Java.
Right. But, yeah. Okay, so we got to put this in Git
Yeah.
now.
What is? I don't even. You're saying words. Here, go for it. Have a blast.
Okay.
Oh, it's such a good.
Okay, how do we work your computer to get this thing into Git?
Go to GitHub.
We got a command line.
Yeah.
Right.
Got this.
Okay. Here are we. We're in the app. Okay. Let's do a git init. Initialize our repository, right? And then let's do. Is there anything in here we don't want to commit? No secrets yet, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Except for what about the
secret asset
Mongo config? We want to make sure we don't.
There's no config.
Oh, there is no config. 'Cause it
Probably
defaults
don't
to
have the
local
target
host.
directory. You should Git ignore that,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Who's using Git? I'm just curious.
There's a-
Oh, that's not bad. One thing we're not doing is using Ant with this file, with this build.
All right. I think we're good, right?
What does Git ignore do? What does it look like?
It was good. It had.
It's already
it
has
had
it
what
in
we
there.
needed.
That's how beautiful start.spring.io is, right? They know to ignore that by default.
Oh, so smart, so good.
Okay, so let's commit this stuff. Did I commit? No, not yet. Okay, and then we need to push it to a repo, and I've got one set up that we're going to use. So let's go to my GitHub here, and you guys are going to have to add like commentary to keep this interesting because this
There's
is like
nothing about
this is
source
like
code.
the boring part, right?
Well.
Just nothing about this is going to be fun.
Hello?
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
We actually listened to that song last night, didn't we?
Yeah, I made you. It was
Okay.
mandatory listening in my house.
Okay, Git remote add origin, and then let's put that. Oh no, that's not the right one,
You
right?
want the HTTPS?
I want the HTTPS one. Is that what you use? This is your machine, not mine.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you add me as a collaborator? Use my.
Yeah, you're a collaborator.
In that case, you can use the SSH. It's fine.
Right.
You know, I should have the key.
Okay, let's try it.
Don't use HTTP because I'll have to enter the password and I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay, so we do need to use the. Okay. Awkward. Remote. What is this thing that's popping up below my remove?
It's called autocomplete.
We didn't have that back then
Right.
either.
One thing we
Okay.
did have back then was Mac OS, or OS 10, I mean, right? That was pretty cool.
Right? But no one used it. And if they did, it was so slow.
Yeah.
They couldn't even compile Java.
Right. Well, but I remember James Gosling sporting an Apple laptop, you know, at some point.
You think this is gonna work?
No.
No, it's not gonna work because we need to force push it.
Awkward.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we got our stuff up in Git. We got your stuff up in Git. Let's go check it out. And sweet. Okay, so we got our source in there.
Yeah.
But now we want to actually get this thing like up and running somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's the next step.
But that's not our problem. We're devs. We're gonna throw this over the wall and make it somebody else's problem.
That's right, and it turns out it's my problem, which is kind of unfortunate. So I get the short end of the short stick today. Okay, so
While you worry about that, Raible and I are gonna go to the bar. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
bring me a drink back.
Yeah, tell us how it goes.
Okay. Okay, so we got this thing up in source code, and we could make this really easy.
Yeah.
We could use a platform as a service, and just say go do your thing, amazing, magical platform as a service.
Yeah.
But did you see Kelsey Hightower's tweet that was like, everyone wants a platform as a service,
right.
They just don't want your platform as a service.
Awkward.
Yeah. And so I figured, hey, we should probably just
Wait.
we should build our own platform as a service for this demo.
Didn't he write a book called Kubernetes the Hard Way?
Yeah, it's Git repo. Yeah, you can do Kubernetes, learn Kubernetes the hard way.
So are you saying we should use Kubernetes?
That's what we're gonna do, man.
Wait, so, okay, a little bit of culture differences between James and me, okay? James is from a different part of the country than I am from. I live in San Francisco, just above Silicon Valley. And in Silicon Valley, it's very polite to welcome somebody into your organization, to tell them to have a seat, bid them a good day, bring them a coffee, etc. That's how you welcome somebody into your organization. It's very friendly, it's very polite. What you may not appreciate, James Ward, is that it's considered very vulgar, obscene, downright rude to welcome somebody who's new into your organization, bid them good day, give them a cup of coffee, offer them a chair, and then insist that they deploy a Kubernetes cluster. There's nothing ruder. I've seen people leave in disgust. They just quit jobs. You want me to test this by deploying the cluster? No, thank you. I have a MacBook Pro with 32 gigs of RAM. I can run Slack, but not Chrome. And I definitely can't run those and Kubernetes, right? So that's not cool. I'm not going to run this on my local machine, am I? Because we don't have the sauce.
No.
We don't have the horsepower.
Okay, and I'm, well, you just keep talking because I'm trying to figure out how to get to the right account in your computer, so.
Wait.
I think we got it. I think we got it.
Logged into my account?
Yeah, this is the right one.
Okay.
I was on your work account. We
Yeah.
don't want to do this Kubernetes stuff and make Pivotal pay for it on Google Cloud.
But you're going to make I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, you're going to pay for it. That's right.
This is my personal account. I don't have that. I work in open source. I don't make enough money for that. What are you doing? They pay me in coffee and hope.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Make it much bigger.
Oh yeah, we got to make this thing
Command
bigger.
plus.
Command or control?
Command. Sweet. Keep going. You can do it.
Oh, is it going?
No.
Okay,
What?
you take over. You make that bigger. Oh, there you go. User error. Okay.
Oh, it's kind of you can see that, right? It says, yeah, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
a little cropped, but whatever.
Okay, setting up a few things in the right Cloud Shell. This is Cloud Shell. This is like just an instance on the cloud that we're going to use for this stuff. Okay, so we wanted to build our own platform as a service for this demo because that's what you all are going to do. And so we took Kubernetes, and I'm doing it on Google Cloud, but obviously you can do that anywhere. And then we
They
added.
had Google back then as well.
They did have Google back then.
It's a search engine.
That's right.
Does it still do that? Search engines?
Yeah, apparently not in my email because I can never find anything. So we have Kubernetes, and then we added Knative on top of that, and Knative is another open source component built on top of Kubernetes, which offers more of the platform as a service pieces. Okay, so we've got this stuff set up. We've got our platform as a service that we want to deploy this application to. Great. And our Kubernetes and Knative should all be up and running. We should be able to say kubectl. This is when you were sleeping last night. Remember how we were preparing and then you fell asleep? Remember that last night?
I mean, it was really boring.
Well, deployment is boring, right? I got that lucky job, so yeah. Okay, so we've got our Knative stuff, and we're going to try to get this app that Josh built up and running in our Knative system. So that's all good, but what we need to do is go back to IntelliJ. Oh, before I do that, I need to go get a GitHub repo. So let's go to mine here. So we've got the finished working version of this thing, and because I'm going to be writing some YAML, I can't like hand code that. Like you just copy and paste YAML. That's the only way to write YAML. And so we're gonna copy and paste some YAML. But before we get to the YAML, we do need to add just a little bit of XML. And we probably could type this, but I'm going to copy and paste it. Okay, this little magic thing here that we're adding in to our plugins is something called Gib. So to deploy this thing into Kubernetes, we need it to be in a container. That's kind of like just a fancy zip file if you're not familiar with containers.
It's a virtual machine, right?
I don't know, man.
It's like a hipster VMware.
That's right. It's a hipster VM. That's exactly what a container is. So we're going to use Gib to turn the source code into a container. So Gib is just a Gradle or Maven plugin that in a compile, after a compile phase, turns it into the container. Okay, so that's great. We've got our Gib plugin added. We could test this locally, but we're going to skip that part. And we're going to, okay, let's see, there we go. So now we thought we'd be like really fancy, and you know the old way of like packaging applications was very manual. We're like let's set up continuous delivery like as part of this, right? Like why not give that a try?
So when you say continuous delivery, you just mean I just send an email to operations with the attached.
You need to send an email with the class files.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
And somebody will deploy it for me.
That's right.
Not me.
Exactly. So we're going to use GitHub Actions as our continuous delivery pipeline. Obviously, you can use lots of different stuff, but we're going to use GitHub Actions because it's the new cool thing. And to do that, let's go.
And it's in beta, just like Google was way back then, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's important to try out beta software on stage.
Don't you work for Google? Isn't there something?
Whoops, not a file.
Isn't GitHub the distinguished competition?
It's Google Code, remember?
Yeah. Google Cloud Run or something? Well, no, what's Google? Oh, Google Code, right? Right. What's their continuous delivery thing?
It's gone. I think it's Google Build or Cloud Build or something like that.
Yep.
And that doesn't work?
That's our backup plan.
Okay. Do GitHub Actions always work?
Yesterday we had some service issues.
Wait, so they're down?
It was, yeah, for a little while yesterday.
Oh, it's so nice. Like literally, that would have been like a day. That would have been a beach day, you know?
Right?
We can't deploy. Literally, it's not our fault.
No, bummer. Go home. Okay, so the first YAML file that I have here is a descriptor that tells Knative how to set up a service. And we're going to store our container image in a container registry. You can use all sorts of different options for that. I'm going to use the Google Container Registry. And you'll see there's some parameterization in this YAML file so that I could reuse it in other places. And then there's this really special thing down here because we need to be able to provide the application information about how to connect to Mongo. And I'm going to store the secrets for that information into Kubernetes secrets, and then I get to read them when this application actually starts and runs inside of Kubernetes via Knative. So that's going to take the secrets that are in Kubernetes and expose them as environment variables when this application runs.
But
and that's how we'll
did you already
do
put
that
those
setting.
into Kubernetes?
We'll do that. Yep, we'll do that. Okay, then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create one more file, which is going to be our actual continuous delivery pipeline. So this is this workflows deploy YAML file here. So let's go create that one. New file, workflows slash, what was that, deploy.yml. YML or YAML? I don't know, like, it's just always different.
With YAML, less is always more.
That's right. Okay, so let's go copy and paste this giant, that goes back.
Did you hear they have YQ now?
Why what?
You know they have JQ, which is JSON query language, and it's like based on XPath. Now they have a little program you can use called YQ, which is YAML query language.
We're clearly doing things wrong.
You can do pattern matching on YAML. This is why I drink.
It's, you know, people are trying to make YAML like an actual programming language too.
Those
Because why not?
Stopped.
I mean, Jelly, right? You remember Jelly. We were talking about Jelly the other day.
XML.
Yeah. Okay, so let me run you through the continuous delivery pipeline that we're doing on GitHub Actions. So we're going to check out the repository. Then we need to authenticate to GCP. So I've got a secret stored in GitHub that's going to help me authenticate. Then we're going to tell Docker how it's going to authenticate to the Google Container Registry. And then I finally get to actually building my application where I'm going to run Maven, compile, and then I'm going to use that Gib tool and do the Docker build, right? And I got to tell it where to actually store this image, the Docker image that's created there. So I give it the parameters for that. And then I do a Docker push to push that image to GCR, because it's just building to the local Docker daemon. And then I need to assemble that file that's going to tell Knative how to actually run this application. So I use this nice little thing called env-subst, which is going to give me some environment variables and then substitute those for the actual values in that template.yaml that we saw there. So we've got the app name, project ID, app name again, and GitHub SHA, and those should all be substituted. The GitHub SHA should automatically be an environment variable, so hopefully we didn't have to specify that one. Okay, and then finally, the magic step here is to actually deploy this thing. So we're going to set up our kubectl, which is a little bit of setup, getting some credentials and all that, setting up the cluster configuration information. But then, the magic part, kubectl apply that service YAML that we just created, which is going to then tell Knative, all right, now pull that container out of the container registry and run it on Knative. Okay, so that's our whole deployment script. And we could, like, the GitHub Actions has a way to, like, reuse these pieces, but we wanted to actually show you some of the magic there.
I don't know. I mean,
is it gonna work?
So this is the Kotlin code. That bean was solely for adding the sample data. So if I get rid of that, the whole program is 36 lines of code. I put that back and go to your YAML. That's 44 lines of code.
more in the YAML for the deployment than there is for the code. All right.
That's awkward.
That's awkward. That's awkward. Okay, let's give this thing a whirl and see if we get lucky. Okay, so let's add our stuff. Let's commit it, deploy, and let's push it. Whoop, push to set upstream. I'm so glad you have bash git completion because I cannot work without it. Okay, so now that thing is pushed up to GitHub, and let's see, how do we get to, there we go. Let's go over to this one. This is our repo, right?
Yeah.
Let's refresh this thing, and let's go check out our action. So it looks like that's all there. Go to our actions, and hey, look at that. We have a deploy currently in progress. So
Hey,
now,
guys, my daughter got in an accident in Denver. I got to go and help her. Sorry.
oh, come on. I hope she's okay, Matt. Okay. Hopefully he was kidding. We didn't script this. So
No, it's okay. I hope she's okay.
Okay, so now we're on the actions, and that's going to set up the job and then run through all those steps, the checkout, the authenticate, the create the Docker container, and hopefully GitHub Actions is working today. We're going to see here in a second. So, all right, come on, give us some resources, GitHub. So we need some like dancing while we wait. Is this going to be like our video where like we're here until like the morning and finally like it actually gets deployed?
Right. This always applies. It's never not right. So.
We should have brought swords.
Yeah, exactly. The number one excuse for slacking off.
Yep.
Is this amazing XKCD cartoon. So it's now the deployment, right?
Yep. So we're in deployment, waiting for that deployment. While we're waiting for that, let's go check out a few things here. So in Knative, what we have is the ability to see what services are running on our Knative system. And you'll see that I have one service, this hello S1P. You'll see that that was there from before. Oh, we should walk through the secret part of this while we're waiting. So, so we've got this service configured in Knative. We could have started from scratch.
So now Knative is a simplifying layer on top of Kubernetes.
Yeah, it's really an abstraction across like the manual deployments and adds like load balancing. It does scale to 0. It has scale up, scale down.
Git-based on-ramp for code.
That's right. You can do blue-green deploys by configuring the router. So all sorts of great features that are more like platform as a service.
Did you ever work for a platform as a service?
It's like my whole life,
company?
you know. That's my whole life.
Did you ever? What do you know about platform as a service?
What do I know about platform as a service?
Did you ever fight in the platform as a service wars? Did you serve?
Did I serve in the platform as a service wars?
Right. He was at Heroku for a few years.
Yep. You know, I created the first Java hosting system ever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's called Want Java.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really do.
We literally copied class files for customers into the container.
Oh.
Like literally. Okay. So I deleted this secret out of Kubernetes so that we can do it from scratch. And what we're going to do is add in a new secret. And this is our Spring Data MongoDB host, giving it the host name that we're going to tell it to connect to. And if we had a username and password, but hey, you know, why security? We don't need that. We would specify those as well. Oop, and those are not, that did not specify correctly because of my copy and paste was wrong. Let's try that one more time. Come on, give me that V, where is it? VM-0. Delete it. Make sure we get the right value there. Okay, so let's go back and check our GitHub. Come on, GitHub Actions, work for us today. Not going.
What's the deal?
Bummer.
4 minutes?
This was what happened yesterday. It was just like.
Did it happen yesterday?
Yeah.
Or it did? Oh,
yeah.
wait, no.
No, I went
sorry.
back. We could switch to cloud build.
Yeah, let's do that.
You want to? How much time do we have?
I don't know. When does this thing finish? Are we?
Let's see, we got till
10 minutes
40,
to go?
20 minutes. We got 20 minutes to go.
10 minutes. Well, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
We have more than 5, which is enough.
You know, actually, this is good because we should probably like not actually deploy something in production that's not secure, right? That would be bad.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how to get it secure without a friend.
Oh! Here he is! Oh! He's back! All right, Raible.
But it's better to do it before that, right?
Oh, dang! You dropped your mic here. You literally dropped the mic.
The mic came out.
Yeah.
All right.
So your daughter's okay, right?
Well, yeah, that was just a way to get the cape on in the back, right?
You had us all like really worried.
I know, I even got a
didn't know
tweet
that
from someone that was like, I hope everything's okay.
They didn't tell me that. So up here, I'm like thinking about poor Abby. I'm going, oh. I've seen him leave for family reasons. From real, like he'll leave a talk.
Right.
Like, oh.
So one of the cool things about Okta is that we can actually integrate it in under 30 seconds. MVN, com.okta.
Okay. Make it bigger.
Okta.
Make it bigger.
Maven. You got to make it.
Maven. Or zoom in. You know, you can use the control of zoom.
Just do that. Well,
That's okay.
What ifs?
they can read.
Squint. Watch the video later.
It says maven space com.okta okta -maven -plugin setup.
All right.
Yeah.
It only took me 2 days to memorize, but now I know it. All right. And then I can do, Matt, Raible. This is the most important part. All right. You got to get that right. And that's it.
Huh.
Woo! It's secure.
It's secure, so we can go to we can go in here, right? We have this Okta dependency that we gotta uncomment, and this actually builds all on Spring Security, so we aren't really doing a whole lot more than what Spring Security provides with OAuth and OIDC.
That took a while, though. I remember the first version of the integration with Okta,
Right.
or Stormpath years ago, right? It was a whole big layer.
Right, and if you look here, it even added our properties for our application in there, right?
Get your cameras out. Take a snapshot of
You're for sure going to
Right.
check that into Git, right?
Well, in case I do, I'm going to delete that one, all right, before I check it in. But let's just verify it works.
I'm scared.
Oh no, you always got to type Spring Boot Run. It's the hard part.
Let's see this thing work locally, and then maybe we'll get it working on the cloud today.
Maybe in production.
Maybe.
Oh, it's already in use. You got it running up above or what? You got it running here?
Yeah, kill it.
Oh, gosh.
You just restarted it,
I know.
but
That's cool. We can just
Either
restart.
one works, right?
well, it's going to still be in use if you restart it.
No, we're good.
All right.
There we go.
Puts us in there.
Hey, our build ran.
Localhost.
It failed, but it ran.
8080. Reservations. Do you remember your username and password that you set up last night? That's a risky question.
No.
Well, it's secure.
Wait, for this?
Yeah.
It was an email, right?
The temporary one was, and then you set your own, and then
Oh,
remember
okay.
you decided that your desired job as an adult with a PHP plumber.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to be when you grew up.
Oh, this is awkward. No. Nope.
Well, here's the
This
fun
is
part.
turning more into our video
Right.
at every moment.
We can help you sign in,
Oh, thank goodness.
right?
So
They-
it's, I
it's
think
the
I did.
Starbucks man one. And then they're going to ask you to answer your security question of what do you want to be when you grow up. And you're going to have to show everyone that
Yeah.
it was PHP based.
Okay. So
And you have to show your inbox on stage. That's probably the
could be
riskiest
worse.
part.
Yeah. Whoop. Okay. Reset password. What was it? Plumber?
PHP plumber.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, capital PHP under space plumber.
That's embarrassing.
There we go. Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody take a picture of that.
Yeah. All right.
Don't you love the password requirements?
What's a password that has 8 letters? Password.
Password 1, I think, works just fine.
Password 1.
No.
Capital P?
Capital P.
So
Password.
you don't want to write this logic yourselves, right? You don't have the password reset logic. You don't want to deal with password hashing.
Do you remember what password you used there?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna update. Wait, no, not now. It's
Oh, we didn't go back to the right URL, right?
I don't know.
The localhost 8080 reservations. Not hello.
Hello.
We'll try hello.
We didn't do hello. Yeah.
There you
All right, there you go.
So now let's start. Can we log in again from 0? Now that I have the whole thing.
Yeah.
Here, let's delete your cookies.
Let's prove that it worked. Yeah.
Well, if we delete your cookies, you're already logged in. You
Yeah.
can log out. Do you want
Yeah,
to?
let's log out.
Okay, you can go for it.
Just
Log out, delete that cookie, or do a, what's it called?
Destroy of all the
Incognito.
data. Ready?
Ooh, all? Ooh.
No?
This is scary.
Okay. How do
Here. Okay. Scary things can happen if we just start deleting caches on stage.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to application, and then we'll go to our cookies down here. Select that one, and then delete that one. Okay.
That's how you log out?
That's
What a
how I
nerd.
log out.
Well, no.
Every single time.
So to be fair, Spring Security 5.2 added OIDC backchannel logout.
Right.
So that is something that does exist, and you
Yeah.
can hit a logout endpoint and do it.
Okay, now if we just refresh this, it should go log back in, and we probably won't even see it happen, right?
Well, why would it log back in if I just?
So did you see that? Like it went through the redirect.
The OIDC flow.
The whole flow, and came back, and now we're logged back in.
I see.
So we could log out of Okta and show like the actual
So can we
login
actually create an
screen.
endpoint that announces who we are?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a hello endpoint.
Yeah, you wanna do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
But we still have to deploy this thing. Do we have enough
It's
time?
looking more unlikely by the minute.
Okay. I'm going to create one more endpoint just in case to demonstrate that. Hello. It's me. So now I need to get the current request. That's called it. I'm going to get the principal. I'm going to map that to the
OAuth 2 authentication token.
That's the as, yeah.
OAuth 2 authentication.
Oh, where is it?
Token.
You do the thing.
Did you import the new thing?
I don't know. I mean, we did Maven import, didn't we?
Yeah.
Go to the build just in case.
It's there.
Auto refresh.
Right click and choose Maven import, whatever.
Oh, this whole thing up here?
Just right click on the build. Oh yeah, that one too, yeah. Sometimes you just have to believe.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, just believe.
Yeah, just
Import that.
the compiler doesn't agree. Too bad. Okay,
And you got to cast that to a OIDC user, all right? Map.
We can go copy and paste this if we want to.
we're so close.
Right.
Wait, why would you cast it twice?
Spring security.
What? No, you have to dereference something, right? You can't just cast it to an OS.
Work last night.
No, it didn't. We can't cast twice.
It was it.principal, I think, that we cast, right?
Oh, it's principal, right?
No, on if
Oh,
you
right.
it dot
Yeah, you're right.
something.
I get it.
We're not.
This isn't PHP. You can't just like stringly
No.
type the thing, you know?
Right? Like
It
that?
principle.
It.principal.
It.principal.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
And then, what's this one? It again? Full name?
Yeah.
Right? Or print liner or something like that?
Yeah, and so we want to send that whole thing back to the response, val name equals, and we just pass it in there, right?
Right.
Can do. All right, let's see if that works.
Reload it.
Okay.
Okay.
Then hello it up.
Then hello it up. Going to /hello. And hey, we had one success.
Right? Now can we deploy this thing? We've got
Okay.
15 years.
Right? Let's go see how what happened with our deploy over here. Okay, we have a build action. It should have built? Why didn't this thing compile?
Couldn't check it out.
What did we do wrong?
Network, are you trying to do?
Oh, you did a Maven build.
Well, did you set up Mongo?
Request it. Oh, it's like something failed on the on fetching something.
You do like I do with most of my failed builds. Restart it.
Right?
Yeah.
Rerun.
You gotta do
Let's
it at least 3 times before you're like confident
Yeah.
that it's really a failure, right?
This really is turning into our video. This really is turning into our video.
Yeah.
I swear, we're going to be here in the morning still trying to get this thing deployed.
It's okay. I brought this alcohol.
You could show us the cloud build in the meantime.
Well, while we're waiting for that thing to try, I think we should get this thing ready to, like the full final version, ready to deploy on the cloud.
So don't check in that application.properties, or at least
We will
not the secret, right?
Yeah, we will not check in that part.
Never check in your secrets.
But we do need to make one change to our template here, which let's go back and see what that change looks like. We can find, too many tabs. Where? Oh, here it is. Here's
You
the
got
right
7
one.
minutes, plenty of time.
Plenty of time. All right, let's go check out our template because we need to now pass in our OIDC secrets as well into this thing. So let's put those in. Oh God, YAML. Nothing like reorganizing the structure of YAML.
Oh, you gotta
live.
indent that one
yeah.
right
Oh my
too, or
God.
it's gonna fail your build.
And
Or it won't.
you know what?
Or it won't
Interestingly,
work.
it needs to be four spaces for that one.
You know, to make me feel better,
because
just
YAML.
copy and paste the one that worked.
What?
I'm not sure that you've got that
It's
right.
no, it's good. Let's roll with it.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Hashtag YOLO.
Okay, let's get this thing committed. So we're gonna add
It's not gonna work.
our .github. We're gonna add our POM, and we're gonna add our source main Kotlin, but not our application properties. Correct?
You already add all this?
Okay. Let's commit. It minus am it secure. Git push. Okay. Here it goes. Let's see if our GitHub action is going to work. Let's go back to, where's our tab for that? Here it is.
It's only been a few
Okay,
minutes.
we've got a new one here, a new deploy, which hopefully will give us some love and some infrastructure when it starts this thing and runs it. And before that thing goes, actually good, it's going to take a little while. We need to go to our cloud build, or not our cloud build, our cloud
Close
console.
it.
Where is this one?
Email in the Okta tab.
Cloud Shell, there it is. Okay, and we need to add in our secret for Okta. So we externalized those secrets here. Let's copy those in. So these are, not our Postgres ones. We want our Okta ones. So I set those client ID secret, client ID, and the issuer, right? So let's paste those in. That looks good. Okay, and now those two secrets exist. We got our Mongo secret, we got our OIDC secret, and then we're just now wait for that build to happen.
Does that have to correspond with anything in the property file?
No,
No?
It just works, right?
Okay,
It should just work, right?
sure.
Okay, let's go back. YOLO. Let's go back and see if our build is going to run. Oh, we got plenty of time. We could do cloud build. Should we flip this thing over to?
Just in case, because I want to get this to production after all this
Right?
pain.
After all this pain? Yeah, it's GitHub Actions. Not looking good.
Not great.
Okay. Should we try cloud build?
Yeah,
Let's see.
why not?
Let's try cloud
You
build.
know, you got
Is it going to work?
Surely you rehearsed that flow when I was asleep.
We could just go over to the finished one and see like the finished one, right? So the finished one is all the same thing, but the deploy actually like worked last night.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to joy of cooking it. You're going to like,
Just be like, and here you go.
and here you go.
Yep.
Okay.
And here you go. Okay, so you can see this all did work at one point and created the Docker container and deployed it. And I think that actually the current version that's running is actually the one working from last night. So let's go actually try this thing. Let's do kubectl git ksvc, that's our knative services, and let's open that URL up, right? And what hopefully, so now it's gonna, it had scaled down to 0, so now it's gotta scale up to 1. And hey, we got a login, that's good, right? Do you remember your password? Probably not.
Yeah. Good thing you told me to remember it.
This is on my
Right, you
Okta
log
ones.
in.
Wait, what?
Let me try
You
mine.
do it, yeah.
Yep. I think that this is.
You did send him an email to create an account, but he probably hasn't checked his email this
Oh, right,
morning
that's,
yet.
yeah.
It's not
Okay, now can I remember my password first try? Let's see. Boom. Okay, that's good. That's what we wanted to see. So let's go to /hello, right? And there we go. James Ward is now logged in. So that's all good. And then we have the endpoint, which last night, instead of coding up reservations, I think we built a CRM last night.
Yeah.
So I think we had /customers.
Yeah.
And customers, right, was the one from last night.
Okay.
We have no customers, obviously, because we can't get things into production. Okay. But it did actually go out and query MongoDB there. So we know that this does work if our actions actually would go.
Okay.
It failed again. Same
huh?
thing. There's something going wrong in the infrastructure side of things.
Is it in the massive YAML?
No,
Copy
it's on the GitHub Actions side.
It happened for us yesterday too with the Okta developer blog. We used GitHub Actions to deploy it, and it gave an error message that says, an error has occurred, here's the ID, please email GitHub support.
Yeah.
So that was our first warning sign yesterday, that this might
So why
happen.
can we do you want to try the other one?
The other, we only have 2 minutes. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun.
We totally
Yeah.
just redid our video.
Yeah.
That's right.
Without the
Yep.
soothing relief of.
Works on the Mac machine.
Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly.
Works on my machine.
Works in my cloud, actually, at this point, right?
That's
Totally
right.
different.
That's right.
So, I don't know, what's our conclusion? Are things better?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're more fun. They're more fun, right?
This can break in so many new and mysterious ways.
That's right. All right, note to self, not GitHub Actions anymore.
Yeah.
In live demos.
That's what we learned
That's what we learned.
in 18 years of pain.
I was
Everything
going
else-
to use Tecton, which is the new
Yeah.
Jenkins X thing based on Kubernetes.
Right.
But that didn't work either. So.
That's not great.
But you'll notice that Spring Boot and Okta worked swimmingly.
Just fine. Just fine. Like a
Hey,
charm.
the Knative part worked well. It was just that thing that got
It's
it.
GitHub Actions, right?
Yeah.
but that's how CI works.
Yeah.
Or
that's
in
right.
this case, doesn't.
Or it doesn't.
Well, I sure hope you have questions. Because I do. And I'm not going to get any answers to them. So that feels bad. Any closing thoughts?
Any feedback on? Cool. All right, we'll be around if you have any other questions, but hopefully that was fun.
Who had fun? Who learned something? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.